has been, this is our 8th year doing it. The first year we ever did it, we were 75 guests, and you have to have at least 75 to be part of it, or at least at that time, to be a Night to Shine through the Tim Tebow Foundation, and we just barely made it in. We have went through the whole COVID years and the drive-through and trying to figure those out, and we have grown to where we're, unfortunately, because we don't want anybody not to experience, where we're having to say we can't take any more. So we have over 300 and some guests this year. We have, with you guys, we have close to almost 300 and some buddies, and then we have over 150 volunteers. So it's going to be a lot of people. It's going to be a fun night, and it will be an amazing experience. And I hope that you guys all enjoy it. So just to give you a little recap of our highlights, so that you that have never experienced Night to Shine can see kind of what it's like, we have our highlight video from last year.
Get to celebrate because our Heavenly Father is the King of this universe. You know what that makes us? We're royalty.
That's right.
Because we know what family we're in. Guys, no matter what happens in your life, I hope you know that you are royalty because you know who your dad is. The Bible also tells us that no matter where we go, no matter what happens, that God will never leave us or forsake us. He'll always be with us. So know that God loves you like crazy. He's not going anywhere.
Never gets old, ever. If you don't know, I'm Allison Fott. I run all of our social media. If you message us, it's me. Any pictures you see, I post them. I watched that video probably at least 20 times in the last week, just preparing for this year, and it never gets old. It is such a special night, so I know the next few slides are going to be a lot of talking, so bear with me. So we're going to go ahead and get started. This is just information as being a buddy, just general rules. Never leave your honored guest during the evening. Sometimes they like to wander off. You'll learn this. There are some people that you'll see and you'll be like, they are a wanderer. Just be sure to familiarize yourself with any of their special considerations or allergies. They have on their name tag, it'll say, Tara will explain that a little bit later, as well as medical concerns. There aren't very many, but if they do have a medical concern, their caregiver will make sure that you know. They're not just gonna leave you out in the cold. And then at the end of the event, it is a little crazy trying to evacuate that many people. So you need to make sure that when you leave, that your buddy gets put back with their caregiver. They have a number that we'll show you later that they'll have to show you to pair them back up with who they came with. So I think we'll explain that a little bit later, how we're gonna deal with exiting. And then specialized assistance. I think that's...
We do have, some things like maybe your caregiver or your guest needs to meet up with their caregiver to use the restroom or something like that. So when we pair you up at the beginning of the night, we'll kind of go over that if there's a certain time that you guys need to meet, or if there's any medication. We do not want you to give any medication, nor do our any of our volunteers at all, even in our medical. So the caregiver is responsible for that. So they may say they need medicine at such and such time, and we just then recommend that you meet it. There is a designated medical table that you guys can meet up at. So if there's anything that they need specialized to meet up throughout the night, we need to make sure to address it when they get paired up. So.
Next, make sure that you ask them several times throughout the night if they need to use the restroom. You don't have to go in there with them. We do have people stationed outside that can help them use the restroom. If it is more important, the caregiver or parent, you can contact them and they can come back over if needed. I don't think we've ever really had that problem. Usually the bathroom attendants do a really great job. And if you would like to stay in touch with your guest, a lot of them will want to friend you on Facebook. They'll want your phone number. You're more than welcome to check with their parent or caregiver before reaching out. I'm friends with my buddy from the first year that I ever did it, and every year he comes, and I'm on the committee now, so I'm not a buddy, but every year he comes and gives me a big hug, and people from last year, I paid pictures. On their name tag, they will have, if they have a medical or food allergy or anything, please be aware of that, of special diets, food restrictions. Many of them are gluten-free, dairy-free, low sugar. We will have options. Just be sure to check. Like I said, if there is anything that's very serious, their caregiver or parent will tell you and make you aware of that.
Our food team can be part of that. It will show on their name tag. We'll give you the information that we receive as well. But our food team can also help with that. So if you're like, I don't know if this meets it, you can always ask our food team as well. So we have a set of volunteers that are designated just in the food area. And new this year, we got some aprons, so it's easy to identify them. We're excited about them. So.
And then food portions too, just make sure that they're not piling, because sometimes they will eat until they can't eat anymore.
And we don't want them getting sick.
Yes. And we have a couple different desserts, I think, so we just want to make sure that they're not getting too many sweets. I mean, we know how too many sweets makes us feel. And then again, just noted, don't administer any medications. Just leave that to their caregiver. And then parents and caregivers, we want to honor them. This is kind of their one night a year, maybe, that they get to take a break. Our vision is to provide these remarkable people with the opportunity to rest and enjoy a night off, knowing their loved ones are having an amazing time in a safe environment with their buddy. Please make sure we warmly welcome them. We want to help them feel valued, loved, and that their child, whoever they're taking care of, is going to be taken care of that night. We do have a respite area that is located right next door in the is it the inn?
Yeah, Bluegate Garden Inn.
Bluegate Garden Inn. So make sure that when you get your buddy, if their caregiver is still with them, you can let them know. You can go to respite now, like I will take care of it from here on out.
And with that being said, we are, all of this, the whole Night to Shine event is 100% by donations, by fundraisers, things like that. We are fully reliant on those people that are supporting us, and so we want to be diligent with the money that we receive and be good stewards of that. So it's really important that they check in with their, if they're a caregiver, that they do check in at the respite room, so we can be accounting for them not in two places. Does that make sense? Because we have to submit our caterer numbers to confirm how many people we have and how many people are over there. So if they're in both places, then we're counting them twice. So we just want to make sure that if they are a caregiver, if they're going to be part of the respite room, that they go there immediately and check in. And caregivers do not have to have a background check, whereas everybody else in the venue has to have background checks. So for safety purposes, we have to identify them. Bluegate has said to everybody that is in the venue has to be identified that they're supposed to be there. And so since caregivers don't have to register, we ask that they go there immediately so that they can get that they're supposed to be there. So if they have to come over and meet their guest or their student, then they can come over and we can still identify them. So, but there is some really cool things in our respite room this year. So if you are a caregiver, we want to love on you. We do want to pamper you. I don't want to give everything away, but it will be a good night. And I know having a family member that has special needs, I know how important it is to know that how hard it can be, and you take the hard any day over not having them, because it's so rewarding to have them in your life. But we also know sometimes we all need a break. I remember at toddlers, people with special needs, we just need that break and know that they're loved and they're supported and they're cared for, and then that we see them. So we want to show that with them. We have put the respite room in the hotel to give them more space because we outgrew our space last year. And we've offered some more things so that they can just feel loved and supported. So
next up is wheelchair and limited mobility. Kind of use common sense. If there is someone in a wheelchair and their buddy and guest and they're trying to get through, try to stay out of their way. There is a lot of people and it's going to be tight. But for those independent and using their chairs, always ask if they want help. Don't just grab their chair and start pushing them. Just be careful in hallways. It is very crowded. Gently take hold of their arm during transition if you're moving them. And if a conversation lasts more than a few minutes, just sit down or get at eye level. It's just a lot easier for them to understand and talk to you instead of them just cranking their neck and looking up at you.
So like Allison said, the exit strategy, it's really important that we make sure that they exit with who they're supposed to go with. And that with as many people as we have in the venue, we want to make sure that there's not like, oh, they're wandering and who is this person? So again, everybody will have a name tag. On the buddy name tags, on the guest name tags on the back side, there will be a little number. And then caregivers, when they check them in, will have a caregiver tag. So in the end of the night, you will meet up with the caregiver. They will hand you the tag. You'll make sure the number looks correctly. You will let them keep the buddy and the tag, and the security will make sure that they're exiting with the person that they're supposed to go with. So you stay with them until you have seen that their caregiver has matched up the right tag to your buddy's tag. Does that make sense? At the end of the night, 8:45, we want everybody to be on the dance floor. That's when Tim Tebow comes on. I will tell you, the first time I was like, what is that noise? Because I didn't realize that was what was happening. And everybody, when Tim Tebow comes on, the crowd goes wild. Like, it was just like, they love him to death. So then you'll hear this big roar that he does the announcement, and then everybody gets crowned king or queen of the prom. At that time, then we'll be able to help control the crowd, because the event space has a lot of activities going on. So all of you guys need to come into the big banquet hall until at the end of the night, and then the caregivers can come into the other areas, and then we'll meet you as we dismiss. We will have our DJ dismiss large groups at a time, so if they become part of an agency, then those groups will come, so you'll kind of hear for them to be dismissed, and then the people that come in just with their mom or dad, they'll be at the end. So guest name tags. So we've talked a little bit about this and referenced it. On each of the guest name tags, there'll be these symbols. If there's no symbol, then there's no concerns. But if they have told us that they have a medical condition, a dietary condition, or an allergy, there will be a little symbol up in the corner. That means that you need to flip over their name tag and see what's on the back. So, go back. So if this was me, it looks like, I got to look because she's got a medical condition and something dietary because the little symbol's up in the corner. And you flip it over, and it would tell me that there's no allergies that we're aware of. If there is a dietary restriction, sorry, my old eyes, I need to watch my sugar intake, and then my medical is maybe I'm a little diabetic and I have a seizure disorder. If you're concerned, we do have a medical table, and I'll show you where that location is, that you can always go and say, okay, what do I do with this person, or what should I be aware of? You can always check in with them. They would love to help you out. But most of the time, that's also, too, if there is a concern somewhere else and there is aid coming, making sure that they are aware of those alerts. There's also, if for some reason in the middle of the night you need the caregiver, there's the emergency contact that would be listed there. And then you can see the checkout number right there is the number that will be paired up with the caregiver at the end of the night. So event schedule. You did. So this is the timeline of the event. You guys will check in. We're asking that all volunteers. It's always hard because Tim Tebow says it's got to be Friday night before Valentine's Day every year, which we know, we love, it's great, it's easy to put on the calendar, but I will say it's hard for those of us that work until like 5. So with that being said, we know that some of you guys are coming from work and trying to get there as fast as you can. We just ask if you guys, we have to open the doors at 5:45 for the guests, and so we'd like to have you guys there beforehand. So we will open the doors for you guys to come in and get signed in and get checked in around 5. If you could be there no later than 5:30 is what we're requesting. So you'll go check in. New this year, we will have you guys go into you'll check in, and I'll show you where the check-in. You'll go park in parking lot C in the back and come in the side doors to the event menu, because that will be the doors that will be open for you. And then it's between the hotel and the Blue Gate Performing Arts Center. And then you will go in and sit in the auditorium where they do the concerts. And we will have our student representatives there kind of pointing to you, your section. You guys said your red, green, or yellow. We will then have the buddies and guests, when they come into that area, we'll pair you up. If there's somebody that you know that you are going to be their buddy, we may have you sit in a different section. We can't keep track of who is all going to be with who, but we know that you know who you want to be with. So if you see them come in, you say, I'm with them, and then come up, take them, and we'll let you guys go if you already know what's going on. If you're just waiting, we have some that say, I want to dance the night away, and so then we come through the crowd and we say, who wants to dance? Because we know that's not for everybody. And then there's some that say, I'd like to have a little bit quieter evening. Yep, I'll pair you up with that. Be patient with us. We are trying a new thing this year because this is our most stressful time of the whole entire evening. And so we did recruit some other people to kind of help us with this, especially with being a man down on our team. We figured we might be pulled away, so be patient with us. We're trying new things. We're trying to help make that flow a little bit better. With that, then we'll thank our caregivers, find out the information, send them on to the respite room in the hotel. Then you will exit and get your corsage or boutonniere, walk the red carpet, and then be able to choose from a variety of activities. So with the variety activities, there's professional photography. I will say we have 2 photo stations that they will get the picture taken right away, and it will print within a couple seconds, minutes. But we ask that we pick up so many of those pictures at the middle of the night, and we're like, how do we get these to these people? So we recommend that when you get their picture, that you take it to their coat check right away so that they can put it with their stuff before leaving and they don't misplace it. They will get tickets for to ride the limo, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. There is dinner is served. You don't have to eat dinner right away. We kind of recommend staggering it because then allows that not everybody's having to try and find a place to sit down at once. So sometime between 6 and 8. Dancing will be open. There will be an activities area with karaoke, games, and there's a special magic show at 7:30. And then there's going to be some meet and greet characters. So we have, should I tell them?
I'm so excited. They're my favorite.
Go ahead.
Who do you think it's going to be?
It's a royal theme.
Last year was Frozen. You are correct. Cinderella,
Prince Charming, and the Ugly Stepsisters.
So we'll have 4. And the Ugly Stepsisters are hilarious, so they should be really entertaining.
Yep.
I can't wait.
We also had our Transformer last year was a big hit, so we had another the Ford dealership in Sturgis ended up sponsoring. We have Optimus Prime coming this year, so. So meet and greet with them, take those photos, and then again, be on that dance floor. Start making your way, because there's a lot of us making your way at 8:30 towards that so that we can start the crowning ceremony at 8:45. So, and then we kind of talked about dismissal already. So
some new things this year. She kind of touched on a few of them, but buddy pairing. We have a hard time pairing because we don't know everybody. Elisa knew a lot of people. So we're adding a couple more people in. Hopefully the flow will be a lot easier. So like she said, just if you see somebody that you want to be paired up with, just get out of your seat, go stand in line with them, and we will be so happy that they already have a buddy when they get to the front. We will have Fast Pass ticketed limo rides. That's going to be on the next slide. And then there is going to be a magician. That's going to be at 7:30, and we will show you where that will be on the map.
And he is he's going to be there all evening, but we found that there's some of the guests that they do a lot of sitting, and so we wanted them to have an incredible experience too. And so throughout the night, he is going to be mobile and do some little card tricks, balloon animals, things like that. But if they're wanting to watch more of a show where he can sit, then they would go to the activities area around 7:30. So.
All right, so Fast Pass ticketed limo rides. Last year, the limos were very full. We have bigger limos this year. We have, I think they're very, very, very nice. So I want to ride in a limo. So if you catch me in the limo. So how it's going to work at the beginning, after you get your corsage, if your guest wants to ride the limo, you will need to go to the limo table and you'll get a ticketed time. There are designated people there, and then there will be designated people at the beginning of the limo line that you'll give your tickets to. They are starting right away. So like Tara said, if you guys don't want to eat right away, if your guest wants to ride the limo right away, we encourage you to go get your ticket. There are 300 to get through. So if they want to ride the limo, be sure to get a ticket at the beginning. So you'll get your ticket from the Fast Pass table with a specific time. Please be prompt, kind of right on time, so that gives the guests the opportunity to ride in the limo. And then the volunteer that's at the doors, kind of where the limos are, you'll give your ticket to them. And then you'll have a blast riding in the limo. It was very fun. And I think they drive around Shipshewana. I'm not sure if they'll drive around the driveway.
I think it's about like a 10-minute limo ride. It's a little bit of show. The big thing is that, especially if you're the first people out of the auditorium, is to go get those tickets right away. If there's somebody, like if your guest says, I really want to ride with so-and-so, you want to meet up early, because we don't want to lose those time slots of people being able to ride the limo, and we want to make sure if for some reason you've missed your tag or something, you have any problems, go back to that Fast Pass booth, and they will help work some of those out. So Betty Lou in the back, you want to wave your hand? She will be there to answer your questions or help with that.
And then if they want to ride again, you can go back to that table and see if there's any more slots available. And then we will have a standby line. So if they do miss their time, or if they want to ride again and again, you can stand in that standby line. There are some guests that's all that they want to do.
So if you want to ride the limo,
yeah.
So, we are so thankful for, we do a feedback every year, and we are so thankful for the people that give us and say, hey, this was great, and we had a great experience, but I think this could be helpful. And so we are really thankful for the feedback that we get, that we can help them make some of these new adjustments.
Buddy assignments.
Okay. Did you want to do this?
Yep. So a lot of you, when you were coming in, heard the red, yellow, green. So like we have said, buddy pairing is not the easiest. We will have designated areas in the auditorium. I'm not sure if anybody here has been at the auditorium in the Blue Gate, but that is where our new buddy pairing system will be. So we will have a red area, green, yellow. So whatever color you said tonight, if you're not sure, if you think about it and you're like, I said yellow, but I would feel comfortable being red, or you said yellow and you're like, I want to be green. That night, you can sit in that designated area. We're not going to hold you to whatever you told us tonight. It was just so that we can get an idea. And I think I went over all the colors, so I don't need to do that again. But yeah, just be patient. That's the most stressful time for us. And then, like we said, if you already know someone, just get in line with them, grab them. If they are family, you're more than welcome to come with them. You might just have to go through the registration line, but that's.
Sorry.
It's really tiny.
There is a lot going on in the slide, and I apologize in advance. I am not the flow person. We have designated areas. I'm the registration. So when you said I signed up, I get to see you. When you say something social media or you need information, that's Allie. Jama Kefavor, who is away out of the country right now, is our guru for the flow and for how things go, and decorations. So when you see the incredible decorations, that's her and her team. So just to kind of go through, we've talked a lot about what to do. There is, when the guests will come, sorry, I'll start back here. When you guys come in, you'll park in the back. It's not even on the slide over here. And you'll walk in, and you'll come in these side doors where the limo will be. So you will come in the side doors. Those are the doors that will be open when you guys go to check in. There is a little right here where it says medical. That medical table will be kind of out of the way. You'll check in right here with the registration. Erin, who was at our registration tonight, she is the registration coordinator. Her and her team will check you in there, and you will get your buddy name tag and come and sit over here in this area. When our guests come in, they will come in these front doors. Our wonderful parking team with Kevin over here will be able to give them some valet and welcome experience. They will go through their stanchions. They'll come in here. They will do their coat check around here. Then we'll come to the front and we will pair them up. So this is where we will grab you guys, pair them up, talk to the caregivers, and then you'll exit, get your corsages. If there is some with limited mobility and they can't walk all the way to the front of the auditorium, we do have a bypass area. Or if you said, hey, I'm bringing my guests, I am going to also be their guest all evening, you can, when you come in and check with them in the front, you just tell Erin and your team, I'm also their buddy, and then you guys come this way, check in your coat, and then bypass. Does that make sense? Once you leave there, you will be welcomed on a red carpet with a team leader of Sherry Davis. That's right over here in the corner. And some of your guests may want to walk the red carpet more than once. They're more than welcome to. Sometimes she's saying 5 or 6 times. I mean, I would love to walk the red carpet and be cheered on too when I, well, that was to put out something. So then you come through here, then we want you to flow this way. If you are one of the first people through, we recommend that you come right through over here and not necessarily go to the food line right away and get your fast pass tickets. Those are right over here by the limos. If you are like, hey, my person doesn't want to ride the limo, you're more than welcome to do the buffet, but then you can enter the auditorium on these side doors. At the back here is those photo booths. Last year we had 1 photo booth. Now we have 2, and we're hoping that will help with the experience and get more people in. But we also have that we don't have the room that we had before, and it was also closed off and got hot, so we have it out where they can be able to, you can see, oh, there's no one at the photo booth. I'm going to go take it now. So we're hoping that will help a little bit. If you need the medical team, they will be stationed at that place where you are checked in, so there will always be someone there. There will also be security and medical people. They will have identifiable shirts throughout the venue. So if you can always flag them out or need somebody, but if you say, I've got to meet up for medicine or I need somebody and I don't know where they're at, you can always come to this medical table. The merchandise is right there, or maybe we don't know where that's going to be yet. If your guest wants to go to the magician or go do karaoke, it will be out here. Well, this will not all be set up. It will be shortly after we get most of the people through. We'll expand that area so that is more. There's games, there's activities, there's again, karaoke is a fun night. And then what else? Oh, if you're, sometimes they can be overstimulated. There's a lot of people, there's a venue, they just need a quiet room. We do have, Sherry has a team of people that are specially trained that will be up. It's actually up the stairs. There's a quiet venue, and there's some sensory toys, some sensory things there that can help you and your buddy or your guest kind of be able to be less stimulated until they're ready to move on. So, did I miss anything? Oh, and then at the end of the night, way up here is where the DJ is going to be. That's where the dance floor is. At the end of the night, we want everybody to kind of come into this big room and be able to make their way towards here so we can watch the announcement from Tim Tebow and everybody will be crowned. We have our title holders that will come and crown everybody king and queen of the prom. So. Oh, yes. New this year, again, we have all these people that give us great suggestions. New this year, we have in our sensory room, we have a therapy dog. So that sometimes, if you want to just check it out, you can. It's a licensed therapy dog, a licensed insured therapy dog that will be in our sensory room. And then you can go, sometimes just petting a dog can help a lot. So that will be there as well. Or, sorry, sensory room. Did I say sensory room? I don't remember what I said. So, go ahead. Your turn.
Oh, these ones are yours. I can say them. So just a couple ways to think about what you're saying. So instead of a disabled person, say a person with disabilities. Instead of a special needs person, a person with special needs. Instead of a wheelchair-bound person, say a person in a wheelchair, and instead of autistic person, say a person with autism. Just remember that it's the person first, not their disease or disability. And then I think there you go. When offering assistance to a person with disability, wait until your help is accepted. A lot of times it might just take them a little bit longer. Address them the same way you would any other person. It is acceptable to offer a handshake during introductions, even if the other person has limited mobility in their hand or artificial limb. And do not alter your voice or speak in a simplified, childish manner. If an interpreter is present, speak directly to the person and not their interpreter. I think we had one sign language person last year, too. Yeah.
With that being said, they also may have like a communication device with you, and that's kind of why we have you at red, green, yellow. If you say, I don't know how to work this, then we won't pair you up. If there is somebody that says, hey, I'm skillful in that, again, sometimes when you guys are sitting there waiting for your buddy and it's so exciting, we sometimes will just scan hey, I know that you know how to work the communication device, I'm going to bring you forward. We are not trying to say, I'm bypassing you. Sometimes it's just trying to find the right person, and I know this person has this skill. Does that make sense? So if we're come through the line, we don't know you're that skill, and you know that may be somebody with a communication device, sometimes that's helpful if you say, hey, I can do that. I have that skill that I can help with those communication devices. So.
Just continued, don't lean on anybody's wheelchair, don't interact with service animals without asking first. I don't think we have any other than the one that will be in the sensory room. If the person with whom you are speaking has a visual disability, make sure you identify yourself and any people who may be accompanying you, and then be patient if the person with you has speaking trouble or a hard time understanding you.
I won't read this slide, but just basically, if there is a situation you do not know how to deal with, that is what we're here for. We have team leaders throughout the area. Every team leader will have a team leader identification on their badge. Any of us that are the committee members will have our lanyards, our sparkly lanyards. Just reach out. We just don't want you to feel like you're alone, especially if there's a situation that you're like, I don't know how to deal with it. Even if it's something minor, like I got to go to the bathroom and they won't leave the dance floor. Sometimes it's like, I'll step in and be your buddy for a second so you can go to the bathroom, So that is, we're here for you. Just don't ever feel like you are by yourself. With that being said, also never put yourself in a place where you are just the only person. So there is a lot of people in this venue. I'm pretty sure you guys will have a great night, and there will probably not be a quiet corner in the room. But if there is, we just want to make sure that we're safeguarding ourselves and safeguarding our guests. So. And reminders. Is there this me or you? Oh my goodness. I think we covered most of it. So I think, the big thing is, so we kind of covered most all of this. The other big thing is just be patient with us. Again, it's more people. There's a lot of people going in, and there's a lot of new things that we've added and things that may not always work like we plan them to. But we do just be patient with us and help us give us that feedback. It is very valuable, but also have a little patience and understanding as we try to work through this. Again, we're a team of all volunteers that have put in a lot of hours to try and make this an incredible night. But with that being said, we know that it's not always going to be perfect, but there is, we are here to help. And we also want to safeguard, again, a lot of our guests are people that, and I see you, I'm coming to you just a second. A lot of our guests are people that may have some other underlying health conditions or be more susceptible to severe disease. So if you're not feeling well, we value that you want to be part of Night to Shine, but we also don't want to spread anything. And with this many people coming into an event like this size, we want to, if you're not feeling well, please just stay home. So, oh, yes. In case of emergency, again, Jackie and her team, who's in the back, which if you have any questions or if she flagged you on security check-in, make sure you visit her tonight. They will be stationed throughout the venue and also then in that security medical area. Make sure to inform them, and they will get you. We have licensed nurses and EMTs that will be on site. So...
And some of the important stuff, what to wear. I think I answer this question 5 days every day. When people message us, they're not sure what to wear. This is a prom event. Please dress accordingly. You can think casual, formal attire. We want the guests to feel like royalty. So if you want to wear a long dress, you're more than welcome to. If you want to wear a shorter dress, that's fine. I will note, the first year I was ever a buddy, my buddy loved to dance. And I had it was a knee-length dress, and I spun and spun and spun on the dance all night. So wear comfy shoes, for sure. But I know people are always nervous. If you don't feel comfortable in dress, wear slacks, a button-down shirt. For guys, you can go all out. If the guys want to wear a suit, you're more than welcome to. The guests love it. They love when we're dressed up. They love the whole environment, so that helps. And then also, just because I'm weird like that, but you can look on our Facebook page if you want to see what people have worn in the past. You don't have to get anything fancy, but...
No. Before I get to that question back there, what do you have?
More of a comment. I think it's, since there's so many new buddies, emphasizing the boyfriend-girlfriend thing of like that.
Oh, yes. Yes. You are their buddy. We are not their girlfriend or their date or significant other for the night. You are their buddy. You're their friend. And I think it's really important. Thanks for bringing that up, to make sure we identify those boundaries too. We will come through and some will be girl and girl just because you're with them tonight, or they can't have a girl type thing. But we will make sure that we try to get that appropriately. But we just always want to make sure, again, safeguard yourself, safeguard your buddy, establish those boundaries. So,
and some of our guests are married or dating, so both of them will still have a buddy. So there might be a group of 4 of you that you're with the whole night, and that's fine too. But each person will have a buddy.
Yeah, Tim Tebow Foundation wants it a 1-to-1, so one buddy to one guest. So, with that being said, we are so thankful for all of our volunteers, all of our team leaders, we could not do this without you, all of our sponsors. This is an incredible night, but it is also a very long night for us. So if you are willing, and we didn't realize people would tell us this last time, well, if you need help, let us know. I would have brought different clothes. If you are willing, we would have in our back with registration with Aaron, we have a sheet of, we're asking about 25 people, if we are 25 people that are willing to say, hey, afterwards I will change out my shoes, change out my dress or whatever, and I'm willing to help us tear down the event. Blue Gate does a lot for us, but there is a lot of stuff that is ours that we have to get loaded up that night and into the trailer. And so what is the saying, like, light work, or many hands make light work. So if we could get some of you guys that are willing to stick around, hopefully we won't be eating cookies at midnight.
Blue Gate gives us cookies if you stay. I ate 3 on my way home.
With that being said, we wanted to put a picture and acknowledge all the people that are helping us. So the committee that works year round, Elisa's there in the center with Allison, and then me and Jama. Again, like Allison said, she's over promotions and social media and making sure we get our word out there. She's also kind of taken on the responsibility of all of our sponsors this year. Elisa is our go-to. She is everything Night to Shine. So again, she stepped away a little bit, but she is still very much in the midst of it as we consult with her pretty regularly. I am the registration coordinator, so all of your stuff that comes through, that's me. I get all that information to Aaron and then help figure out some of those details. Jama is our leader of our decorating and flow team. And then we have 2 student representatives, and they are very vital in helping us get recruitment of buddies and volunteers, and then they also help with us with fundraising. So Morgan Reed Seger and Adriana, I'm going to not say your name correctly. I'm going to say Adriana G. She's in the back. Where's she at?
She's laughing.
Is she laughing? Where's she at?
Oh.
Stand up, Adriana. There she is. So she if you saw her goodies out there, she is doing her part of her fundraiser here tonight. That if you want to purchase anything, that you, by no means being a volunteer does not mean you have to purchase anything, but she has got some goodies out there that you can look at her table to help pour back into Night to Shine. With that, and didn't make a slide, but I wrote it down because I don't want to forget. We do have team leaders, and I mentioned a few of them. If you're a team leader, can you stand up? Stand up. Okay. Linda Zabona, who is not here tonight, she is over our crown table and our bathrooms, and she is she has stepped up and helped guide our title holders there as well. Valerie Whitaker, who is our salon team leader, and she helps recruit all of our stylists, licensed cosmetologists. Oh, I should note real quick, sorry. Our salon has moved this year, so if you have a guest or a buddy, we are opening the salon up at 5 at the, right, 5? Yeah. And it will be at the Blue Gate Garden Inn. So they will go around in between the Blue Gate Garden Inn and the PAC, the Performing Arts Center.
Kind of where the limos are.
There's a little turnaround. They can drop off that side door and go into the salon. We just ask that caregivers stay with them, but the salon will be open from about 5 to whenever they're done, usually around 6:30, 7. So they can go in. We have, there's no appointment needed. It's walk-in. There's a little bit of a room in there that they can play games and things while they wait for the event to open up, and then they will go in and check in. So if you've ever been to Night to Shine, you know that the doors open at 5:45. Event starts at 6, but not everybody's in when we have this many.
5:30. Doors open at 5:30.
5:45 for guests. 5:45 for guests. Security, Jackie Feller's in the back. If she needs, she's waving, and her medical personnel, Laura, is right next to her. They will be there if there's a few people that still need to see her about background checks. Coat check is Janine Mellinger, who's not here as well tonight. She has been doing it, I think, since we started, and she's wonderful at it. Sherry Lackey is over our activities. Hospitality, Jeannie, you're not standing. She is our welcome team in hospitality, so she will be filling in with all of our, making sure all of our paid professionals are taken care of, but also greeting you guys and helping you guys know where to go. Sherry Davis is over respite and red carpet, and Aaron Olinger in the back is registration. Kevin Witham is transportation. Wilma is over food. Cassie, who's in the sound booth, is over our respite room. Betty Lou is over our Fast Pass ticket area. And Jenna Zabona is over our red carpet Trine dancers. So that is our important team leaders. They each have a team underneath them to help us make sure that all of our volunteers know what's going on as well. So.
Next slide. There we go. Thank you. This is our last slide. And if you aren't following, this is my plug to go follow us on Facebook and Instagram. That night, I try to go live. Facebook always cuts me off because of the sound. The music is copyright or something. So I always post pictures. I'll post pictures that night. We do have 4 professional photographers. So you will be getting your picture taken, and usually within a couple weeks, we have all those posted. So follow our Facebook, and then you'll be able to get to see all these beautiful pictures that are on the slides of yourself.
I forgot to mention this too. We do have to get permission to take pictures. So if your buddy has a little ribbon on their name tag, it means that they have not allowed us to take their pictures. Now, there is a disclaimer that says they might be in the back, but that means you have to bypass the photo booth, or if a photographer says, hey, pose right here, you have to say no. Our photographers should know as well too, but if they have a ribbon on their name tag, they cannot have any pose pictures. So.
Yep.
But thank you again for joining us. I know it was a long evening. I know we got started a little bit late because of some technical difficulties, but we really appreciate you coming out, and we really appreciate you being part of this. Question? You're fine.
If you're coming with a large organization and you are like your individual or your staff is with their buddy, how would you best like that done? So we messed you guys up last
Yep. So we have emailed all of our agencies and asked if they're bringing a group, who their buddies are with them, so we can pull. There will be a group check-in and an individual check-in, and we have then, if you've given us your name tag that the buddy is with you, then your name tags will be pulled and put, so you all check in the same area. So. Yep, when they come in. You stay with your guests, and they should be able to check you in right there. So, any other questions? Lady in the back. That's my mama. So. Yep, we will in just a second. So, Pastor Rich, can you close us out if there's no more questions?
I was going to say, any more questions?
At the end of the evening, if you have any questions for Allison, myself, security, Betty Lou with the Fast Pass, anything like that, feel free to stop them and direct them. Questions? You, Millie. Oh, I can't remember off the top of my head.
I think there's over 30.
I think it's over 34.
34-ish that can fit in the
Betty
limos.
Lou, is she still back there? Or did she leave? She would know. But do you know how many people ride in limo? Okay.
Okay, so 34 altogether.
So, yep. Thank you. Any other questions? Okay. Well, I'm going to let Pastor Rich close us and have safe travels home. So.
Father, we thank you for what this all means. We thank you, Lord, for all the people that will feel your hand upon them on this special night. We thank you for all these volunteers. We thank you for this leadership team. We thank you for putting this all together. We thank you for Tim Tebow and his team. We thank you, God, for the way you pour your love through people. We pray, God, that you would bless the efforts of this entire team. In Jesus' name, amen.
And you are dismissed, but if I read your name, if you could check in with security. Those are the ones that need to see or don't?
Have already done.
Okay. So, Morgan, I think it's Bullock. I'm really bad with names. Allison Clayton, Jennifer Collins, Rebecca Curtis, Kimberly Evans, Mark Fortuna, Adriana, Brenda Hall, Isaiah Hafferty, Olivia Hasso. I think she already saw it. There's another Hasso on here. I'm going to not say the name correctly. Jarrett Jordan, Emily Kirkpatrick, Ashyla Klein, Alina Kloffenstein, Morgan Reedsecker, Lainey Schick.